What up, everybody? Jeremy Yampy here, and guess what? Today is a really special day because today for me is 300 days straight of me jumping without taking a day off. So that's 300 days, and my average jump rate for every single month since August 6th has actually been 300,000 plus skips. So I'm super stoked, and I kind of want to just share my story with you as I'm jumping. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to do 3,000 skips for the 300 days that I've been jumping in a row. So I'm super pumped. And so with that said, let's get into it. And here we go. We're going to start off here, and we're going to do 3,000 skips starting in 3, 2, 1. And so for me, basically, what happened was in, my whole life I've been working out, and I've done tons of different workout videos, and I usually like to do workouts at home. So, I've done P90X, Insanity, Lift 4, like all kinds of different workouts. But in 2020, during the pandemic, what happened was I was doing an Insanity Asylum workout, and the warm-up for that workout was actually doing jump rope. And I tell you, I started to love doing jump rope in that warm-up, and I guess I must have said it out loud because all of a sudden my algorithm on Facebook was sending me a bunch of different jump ropes to buy. And so what ended up happening was I ended up buying these jump ropes from Crossrope. And so these jump ropes, they had a 2 pound, a 1 pound, a half pound, quarter pound. And so I bought them, and then I started using this, it was called Crossrope app, and I started using that. Now, when I first started jumping, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I really badly want to jump rope every single day, or want to make it my go-to workout. So I just started slowly. I got to admit, starting it out, it was extremely difficult because I could barely jump. In fact, as you see, I can do this, just 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that I couldn't even do that. I was doing like these double hops in between, and I couldn't find a rhythm. It was super difficult, but I just kept with it, and I still loved it. I loved what it was doing. So anyway, I just continued to work on it, and I tell you, I was lucky if I could even get 10 skips in a row. And so I do want to tell you, if you're struggling where you can't get very many skips in a row and you're just like, oh, I keep on messing up, I keep on hitting my feet, I want to encourage you, don't worry about it, because that was me. I'd be stoked if I could get 10 skips, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was stoked if I could just get 10 skips in a row. And anyway, that's kind of like, so that was in 2020. Now I didn't use it as like jump rope as like my main workout. I kind of still use, like other workouts like Lift 4, Insanity, P90X, those kind of workouts. But like last year, I was doing like a bunch of different workouts, and I got injured, started gaining weight because I couldn't do any workouts because my shoulder was in pain, the bottom of my feet, my toe. I kept on re-injuring my toe over and over again. So I literally had to take like a month off. I was gaining weight. I wasn't happy. So anyway, I was like, okay, I got to do something. And I don't know, I just love jump ropes. So I'm like, I'm just gonna start jump roping. Well, during the summer, probably in about the month of June, I started jumping rope, but not like every single day, but let's say like about 5 days a week. And then I just kept on getting better and better at doing the jump rope. And so, you know, I was doing that. Well, I went to Hungary and I kept on jump roping over in Hungary because I was there for a month. Well, we came back from Hungary August 6th, and I know I had a trip to Hawaii that was coming up October 31st. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to jump rope every single day till I go to Hawaii August 31st. And so I was, or October 31st. So August 6th through October 31st, that was my goal. I'm just gonna jump rope every single day. And what was crazy is I was jumping rope, I was definitely eating a lot healthier. You know, I stopped drinking soda, stopped eating pizza, you know, no desserts, those kind of things, just eating super lean. And what was awesome was I lost in those 2 months, you know, or a little bit over 2 months, I lost about anywhere from 23 to 26 pounds. 26 pounds was the lightest that I got. And I mean, I wasn't 26 pounds, but I lost 26 pounds. And so that was where, you know, I kind of got to the lightest I've ever, you know, been in my adult life anyway. So super stoked on that. And you know what? I was kind of like, right, I was just in this journey and I was jump roping every single day. So when I was in Hawaii, I just kept on jump roping. I brought my ropes with me, continued jump roping, didn't stop. And then I just kept on going, got through December, jumped every single day, and then I kept on going. And here I am today from August 6th. I've been jumping over 300 days straight without taking any break. So we're at 1,000 skips. So we got 2,000 left. And, you know, I just couldn't believe it. Well, so what happened was, you know, I was figuring, well, here I am, I'm jump roping. So why don't I just start doing some workouts, you know? I'm doing workouts every single day. Why don't I come up with my own? And so I was like, oh, I'll just start a YouTube channel. And so January 1st, put out my very first YouTube video. And it was a jump rope 10-minute workout. In fact, if you go to YouTube channel, Jump with Jeremy, you can see it. And very first workout. And so since then, put out over 145 videos of jumping rope. And so and not every day am I filming it, because obviously, like, I'm also wanting to just do my own workouts, and I just want to push in different ways. And so for me, what was so incredible was that I was able just to, you know, put these videos out, and there I am we're using 2-pound ropes, 1-pound ropes, half-pound, quarter-pound. We're also using ropeless ropes in some of the workouts. And, you know, we got workouts that are an hour long, 45 minutes, half an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. And we've just been doing the build series where we've been building up to do 2,000 skips, but that's constantly using 2-pound rope, 1-pound, half-pound, quarter-pound. And so anyway, this is basically what's been going on, is that because of my love for jump rope and just being consistent, I've been able to start this YouTube channel, have some shorts. Also, you know, I've also been able to do some devotionals, going through, you know, just some verses in the Bible, really going through Genesis through Revelation, and just that's the goal, and just have, you know, a 40-second devotional with you guys. And just so, you know, this is kind of where I'm at. But here I am, you know, I was just like, oh man, I can't believe that I'm actually jumped 300 days straight. And as I said, you know, doing these workouts, that was never my goal. Where like, oh, I'm gonna jump for a year, or I'm just gonna continue jumping and trying to do, you know, try to jump for a year straight or anything like that. No, but you know, since it's just kind of become a part of my life now, where every single day, you know, for some days for an hour, some days I've even jumped for 2 hours, some days, you know, I can only jump for 10 minutes, but just keeping that consistency of jumping rope. And, you know, I just can't believe that here I am, 46 years old. I'm a pastor, and just, you know, being committed like this, where, you know, it's been 300 days straight. It's just never happened. But I do want to say this, being a pastor, you know, it has made me need, you know, has allowed me and forced me to be consistent in my life. So obviously, you know, when I was leading a church in Kapushvar, Hungary, in a city called Sopron, Hungary, you know, I was committed that every Wednesday, every Sunday, also Sunday nights with the youth, I was teaching Bible studies. So I was minimum three sermons that I was preaching during the week. And I always said that I'm never gonna go to a Bible study unprepared. And so, as some of you might know, or you maybe don't know this, but preparing for a Bible study, it takes hours. It takes a lot of study. It takes a lot of commitment. But that was the thing with the commitment, was I promised myself that, hey, and I will, and I also made a promise to the churches, that I will never show up to church unprepared, but that I'll always be prepared. And that had to do, I play guitar, I lead worship, I sing, I also teach Bible studies. And so every week, every weekend, I come prepared, and I'm committed to that. And so I feel like even when it comes to jumping rope, very, very similar. I'm committed to it. I've been committed every single day. And I gotta say, you know, I can't believe that I haven't gotten injured at all yet, because like I said, it's not like I'm just doing 100 jumps or something like that. No, I mean, some days I've actually gone up to, with I'm using the ropeless ropes, I've gotten up to like 30,000 plus jumps. And so, you know, and then with the regular ropes up to 10,000, 12,000. And so, you know, it's just being committed. And I want to tell you guys that having that commitment, yeah, sure, it can be hard work, but I also got to tell you, it's actually, the more you're committed, it's actually not so difficult as you think. So if you even commit to like, hey, I'm going to jump rope, or I'm going to do this workout, or I'm going to play tennis or basketball or whatever it might be. So we're at 2,000 skips right now. So we got 1,000 left. We're also on pace to finish this workout in 20 minutes. But so here's the deal, right? If you commit, you'll realize, like, as you're going through it, not only are you enjoying it, but that commitment side of it, it actually becomes easier and easier. So it's very rare that I wake up and I'm like, oh, I have to jump today. No, it's just right now so ingrained in me that, oh, I'm jumping today. And the same thing happened when I was teaching Bible studies. You know, it's not like that there I am, I'm like, oh, I have to prepare. No, I love it. I love preparing. It's one of my favorite things to do. Sitting down with my Bible and going through the scripture and working out the scripture and what is it that the Lord wants to speak, you know, to my heart, but then also to the heart of the church. And so it's a joy. And, you know, and really that's how I feel with doing this workout, is that it's really become a joy in my life. I just love jumping rope. And I pray and hope that even for you, you know, that you would, you know, get on board and doing some jump rope, and that you get on board, you know, wanting to commit. And it might not even be jump rope, it might be something else. It could be, maybe you love pickleball, maybe you love to play basketball, maybe you love to lift weights, maybe you want to do, you know, heavy weights, whatever it might be, but that you would commit and that you would enjoy it. Because I tell you, it is so awesome. And I love the fact too that, you know, as I mentioned, I've done a bunch of different workouts in my life, and I committed to those, to the 30 days, to the 60 days, to the 90 days. But here we are, 300 days in without a break. But I do want to say, I think it all stems from that word, being committed, and having that commitment and just saying, you know what, I'm committing to this. And look, as I said, I didn't commit to doing 300 days straight. You know, I committed that I wanted to do it every day up to Hawaii. And now I am way past that. And I'm actually curious because August 6th this year, I'm gonna be where I started the whole, you know, 300 day straight. Well, that will be exactly August 6th will be 1 year, and I'll be in Hungary. And so, right, there's definitely gonna be some challenges because I'm gonna need to jump rope on the day I leave. I'm gonna be jumping rope on the day that I arrive, because obviously Europe is a day ahead of us pretty much. You know, it's like 9 hours ahead. So I'll be jet lagged, but you know, I'm gonna have to push through and I'll have to be committed. Also, we're gonna be traveling, you know, for a week through Romania. And so I'm excited to see, hey, am I gonna be able to commit and jump rope every day in Romania where we're at in the mountains or wherever we might be as we're traveling? Am I committed? And so, you know, I'm figuring, hey, I'm at 300, you know, 300 days. Well, I might as well just continue on. And so here's hoping that I don't get injured. Here's hoping that I don't get sick. That's also another thing that's been insane to me, is like this year, I haven't got sick yet, knock on wood, but I've been able to, you know, jump rope. I also haven't been able, or I haven't gotten injured. Well, that's exciting too. You know, I've had maybe here and there like little nagging things, but nothing that was even remotely close to putting me out of commission. And so, well, I will tell you this. What are some of the results as we're coming down to our last 300 skips? Well, as I said, I've lost 26 pounds just by eating, and I'll say even more than working out, but actually just eating healthy. You know, I was able to do that, and with the workouts as well. But then also, I've noticed that my calves are so much stronger, my ankles are so much stronger. You know, swinging around, you know, weighted ropes. I've noticed that even my shoulders, my biceps, my triceps have even gotten a lot stronger. And of course, like, I'll add in push-ups to the workouts. I'll add in, so we got 200 skips left. You know, I'll add in sit-ups and all kinds of different things. But jumping rope, this is what I'm loving. I'm loving it right now. I love doing it. I have such a blast doing it. And I hope that you guys will, you know, want to jump rope along with me. Listen, you don't have to be super good. I'm no fitness guru. As I said, I'm a pastor. I got a wife that I've been married to for next week will be 25 years. Got 3 kids. Kid off in college, last 100 skips. And then I got a kid, our middle son, she's freshman in high school, and our daughter's going into 5th grade. So we had our kids spread out. But I'm just a dad, you know, want to be committed to my wife, want to be committed to my kids, be committed to the Lord. And right now, being committed to jump rope. So listen, we got 40 skips left. Pick up the pace. Super pumped. We're doing great. Let's keep this going. We're at right here, 3, 2, 1, 3,000 skips, celebrating the 300 days. Look at that. Real sweat, real tears, real joy. But look at that. We did that all under 20 minutes, guys. And so as I've committed to these 300 days, I hope that you'll commit to whatever sports it is. Maybe it's the jump rope. Maybe I can sway you in to enjoying jumping rope. And listen, here's the thing, right off the bat, you don't need to be good at it. Listen, as I said, I messed up all the time. And even to this day, I still blow it all the time, but it's having fun. It's moving, grooving, jumping, and just having lots of fun. And so we're jumping with joy. And so my name's Jeremy Yampy. This is Jumping with Jeremy. And I will see you tomorrow for day 301. Bang!